Hello, I'm that fellow in the coat. I look sloppy, so you don't have to. Remember way back when waking up early on a Saturday morning was worth it? Or how about when staying in your night clothes until 1 p.m. wasn't considered lazy? Or remember when they actually showed good cartoons on television? Well, I do. And one of the greatest cartoon blocks to ever come out of that era was Disney's One Saturday Morning. This fresh new block featured new Disney cartoons as well as some old favorites, and it was a joy to watch every Saturday morning. So now let's go back in time to that wonderful morning, waking up to that classic intro.
Monday morning, wake up time, gets to work and stand in line. What would make her feel real fine? One Saturday morning. Coming up next is Tuesday's grind. The week is young, but I'm out of my mind. What would make her feel real fine? One Saturday morning. Wednesday, Thursday, jammed in the middle. Once again, make the pose a riddle. What struck me loose, but plays like a fiddle? One Saturday morning. Friday has an exit sign, but getting there still takes some time. What would make her feel real fine? One Saturday morning.
Created by Peter Hastings, a writer for Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, One Saturday Morning was the ultimate cartoon block that lasted about 5 hours each Saturday morning on ABC. Along with the necessary animated series, it also met the FCC's educational requirement with short in-between segments like Great Minds Think for Themselves. And while those are funny little asides, the main reason we tuned in was to watch the cartoons that littered the schedule. So, let's take a trip down memory lane and look at some of the best series shown on One Saturday Morning. Usually the lineup would begin with Pepper Ann, probably the smartest of the shows in the block. And while those little merchandise that I recall, Pepper Ann still proved to be a funny and realistic look at teenage life. Starring the socially awkward Pepper Ann, the series even tackled certain adult themes as well, thus it never spoke down to its viewers, always a good sign for a family series. If any series deserves a comeback in the modern mainstream landscape, it's Pepper Ann. Another popular series was Disney's Doug. After Disney bought Jumbo Pictures, the company responsible for the original Nickelodeon series, Jim Jenkins created a new series that brought back his beloved characters. And while the brand spanking new Doug has been criticized for the changes given to the characters, I still think it's a worthy successor to the original series, despite the absence of Billy West as Doug. However, characters, yes, even cartoons, need to evolve, and Jenkins and Disney did it in a manner respecting the characters and thus leading to many new funny situations. The most popular and acclaimed series was Recess, a quirky look at a group of misfits and their adventures on the schoolyard. The series was obviously fantasized with characters like the playground ruling king, the sneaky dealer, and cannibalistic 4-year-olds, but that was part of its charm and humor, and we certainly gobbled it all up. Plus, the main character of TJ was definitely a major influence on many of us. Recess, to put it simply, was tender. With such an important lineup, it was only natural for Disney to bring in the most beloved character, Mickey Mouse, with a newly created series of brand new shorts featuring Mickey, Goofy, Donald, Pluto, and the rest of the gang. The success of Mickey Mouse works then led to House of Mouse, a show that was like a who's who of Disney stars, as guests in a chic nightclub. Most impressive is how they got Timon and Pumbaa to appear with their busy schedule. I mean, not even I'm able to book them. Entering the current decade, some even snazzier looking yet still funny and well-written animated series were added to the lineup. Following the footsteps of Recess was The Weekenders, a show that combined the quirky theme of Recess with some interesting adolescent-aimed storylines. With unique characters like the clean freak Tino, athletic tomboy Lore, the smart Tish, and the shoe-obsessed Carver, The Weekenders was a fun diversion playing around with regular tasks like eating pizza and playing video games. Plus, they had Wayne Brady singing the theme song.
I'm living for the weekend. I'm living for the weekend.
Another unique series on the lineup was Teacher's Pet. While the premise of a dog pretending to be a schoolboy and fooling everybody in his path sounds ridiculous even for a cartoon, the show succeeded thanks to charming animation by acclaimed artist Gary Baseman and its funny and mature scripts. And you know a series is aiming squarely for the Juicebox crowd when they hire talent like Nathan Lane and Jerry Stiller to voice major characters. Teacher's Pet was almost like a lighter version of Ren and Stimpy, though it unfortunately did not last as long. Now, as you may have noticed, One Saturday Morning was high on the comedies but light on the action series, while other networks like WB and Fox featured hit action-based series like Batman and Justice League. ABC was mostly consumed by comedic series. Yet in 2000, Disney collaborated with Pixar to create Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. In addition to featuring Buzz Lightyear, Emperor Zurg, and the green three-eyed aliens from the popular Toy Story films, the series also featured other new characters like Buzz's team, as well as villains that trail the universe, most notably a robot vampire that could turn people into wild wolves.
Doc! What have you done to him?
Allow us to demonstrate on you.
This was a fun, action-packed series, and definitely one that had the Toy Story feel of adventure, excitement, and even some humor.
To infinity and beyond!
However, One Saturday Morning was also host to old favorites as well, like the feel-good series The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and interestingly enough, the Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show. With all this great programming and entertainment, you would think they would never cancel such an amazing block. Yet unfortunately, in September 2002, they would replace it with ABC Kids. And while Recess was kept on for a while, and other enjoyable shows like Even Stevens and Kim Possible were added, it would soon become a wasteland for the worst of Disney. Currently, ABC's Saturday morning lineup has nary a cartoon and is instead littered with unfunny, obnoxious sitcoms like That's So Raven, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Hannah Montana. And for some reason, Power Rangers has found its way on there. Don't ask me why. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, One Saturday Morning was the greatest cartoon block of its time. However, it has now died a slow death, living on in the memories of 90s youth everywhere. Thank you, One Saturday Morning. Thank you for those 5 hours of summer once a week. I'm that fellow in the coat. I look sloppy, so you don't have to.